Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of the JJRC H44WH. Now, the H44WH, as you can see by having my phone attached to its controller, is a Wi-Fi FPV flyer. And also you can see by the center stick here, it also has altitude hold. So it's an altitude hold camera quadcopter, we can infer on that. But looking at it, it is very unusually shaped as compared to other foldable quadcopters. It's triangular or diamond shaped. Well, maybe that's why its name is Diaman, D-I-A-M-A-N. But the H44WH, as I mentioned, is a foldable quadcopter, and you can open up its folding arms by pressing this button here to extend them, and extending that arm there. And this locks it and unlocks it. So once they're locked in place, they should hold. Now, the quadcopter comes with a 720p camera, forward-facing camera, which is right in there. A little pinhole camera, of course, since this is a toy grade. On top of that, you have an on-off switch on top and a 400 milliampere hour, very common battery, from JJRC inside. And make sure it is plugged in. It is plugged in. 400 milliampere hour, 3.7 volt 1S battery powers this thing. Let's go over the controller. The controller, it's actually a relatively nice controller. Got a lot of buttons on it though, but this is your rates button up here. This is your flip button up here, and then you tell it which direction to flip. Now, photo and video mode is for if there was a recording version of this. These buttons here are supposed to be for photo and video, but since this is a Wi-Fi FPV flyer, these are inoperative. You will start and stop recording via the app, the JJRC app. So these are inoperative for this particular model. It does have automatic takeoff and landing, which you activate by pressing this button here, and it has emergency stop should you end up in a tree or a bush by pressing this button here to stop the motor so they don't burn out. And it does have headless mode and one key return, which you activate by this button here. Now, these are pitch trim and roll trim buttons. So maybe this is pitch trim and roll trim. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think we'll actually need those for today's flight. Well, let's fire this up and get its app going and show you what it can do. So turning on the quadcopter and turning on the transmitter. First off, what I want to do, folks, is let's do an automatic takeoff and then turn off the transmitter. Well, then turn off the transmitter. 1001, 1002, 1003. The motors will stop within 3 seconds, so there's no chance of flyaway concerns there. Now I'm going to start up the app and we'll take it up and look at its camera. Okay, this is the JJRC app available on Google Play and iTunes. We hit connect and we should have video FPV showing up here shortly. And we don't, so let me hit stop. Oh, there we go. Finally. I don't know why that took so long. It took a while for it to tune in. You know, I tried to hook this quadcopter up to my Wi-Fi repeater. I had a problem connecting that to the Wi-Fi repeater. Its Wi-Fi is a little different than other quadcopters. I don't know what the deal was there, but we do have video now, so I'm hitting record. And let's start those motors and take to the air by giving it throttle. Oh, it goes up fast. Very stable quadcopter. Let's go up a little bit higher so you can see it. Coming down a little lower. But this is it flying. A little gust of wind pushing it to the left. Let me stand in front of it. That wind's picking it up a little more. Okay. First off, let's go up and get some video of the area. Going up higher. I want to see that 720p camera. There's our brand new school. And let's turn it to the left. Pushing forward, coming back toward me. Going overhead. Going up higher. Going to the left. And coming back down. Coming back down. I'm pulling down on the sticks. It comes down very slowly. Let me give it some forward movement to bring it down a little faster. And let's do an automatic landing in my hand. I want to see that. bringing it over, and takeoff and landing. Okay, we'll send it back up here again. Okay, let's go up again, hitting takeoff and taking off. This time I want to try its headless mode out, and that's this button here. Okay, if that's forward, turning it around, and the reason I'd be interested in headless mode is for as a selfie quadcopter. Yeah, I could control it. Oops, I hit the flip button by accident. But let's push it out a bit. Again, a selfie quadcopter. It makes it easier to fly the quadcopter and keep it pointed at yourself. Say if you wanted to use it as a follow me drone, you can do such. Especially if it has headless mode. So bringing it to the left, bringing it inbound. Headless mode works. Okay, how about one key return? Let's go outbound, right about there, and hitting one key return. And here it comes back. So one key return does work. Keep in mind, folks, if you use one key return, it only goes in the opposite direction that the quadcopter, here we go again, quadcopter was pointed when it took off, when it initially took off. This is not really a return to home feature, but it does come in handy if you're a beginner flyer and you keep the quadcopter in front of you and point it in the direction where it took off. Don't let it go behind you, and you can just go forward. It will always be in that direction. Back would always be behind you on the stick. Right, obviously, to your right, and left to your left. That's the idea of headless mode, to make flying a little bit easier for beginner flyers. But I don't normally like to fly headless mode, so we're going to turn it off now. And I want to stop that video I got and start it again. And now let's just see how its maneuverability is. Let's go to higher rate. Expert rate. Oh, it actually flies very well. Let's bring it by again. Try that. Not too bad, not too shabby. Okay, so if you want a little sport, but it does have altitude hold. You can't turn that off, unfortunately, but it still flies well. I'm not working the throttle at all when I'm doing this. Let's bring it in closer now and try some funnels. I'll bring it closer, like I said. Okay. Not too shabby. Not too shabby a quadcopter. I wonder how that FPV's coming in while doing these crazy gyrations. Okay, let's slow it down again. Again, this is meant for a beginner's quadcopter and a beginner's camera quadcopter, so let's go back to doing that. Bringing it back over here and lowering it. How you like my camera or my shirt today, folks? Another one of my Presque specials. Presque State Park, Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay. Interesting looking quadcopter, the Diaman. And that's our flight time. So hitting stop here. So that's the amount of flight time you get with that 400 milliamp hour battery. And stopping my Bobazoon recording. Bobazoon, stop. So the Diaman. We'll see how the video comes out. I'm hoping that it doesn't have much jello, since it's actually an internal camera that's pretty well attached to the frame. You know, most of those ones that are attached to the belly flop around a bit and give you a lot of jello. I'm hoping that this doesn't have much jello, but we'll find out in post-production. So all in all, good flyer. The JJRC Diaman H44WH. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101. Signing out.